You ever look at one of those massive industrial companies and wonder what's really going on inside? I mean, past the giant machines and the factory floor, there's this entire hidden world, right? A super complex, totally invisible digital nervous system that makes the whole thing run. Well, today, we're going to pry open that black box.
This quote is just perfect. It's the best way to think about it. What you see on the surface is, well, it's just a tiny piece of the puzzle. Underneath, there's this tangled web of technology that's been built up over decades. One company actually decided to map this hidden world, and what they learned is basically a masterclass on how to do digital transformation right.
Okay, so at the absolute heart of this story is this tech called middleware. The easiest way to think about it is like a universal translator for software. In a huge factory, you've got systems for manufacturing, systems for lab results, for plant info, all kinds of stuff. Middleware is what's supposed to help them all speak the same language. Keyword there, supposed to.
Right. So you can't fix a problem until you can actually see it, you know? The project had to start with a really deep dive into the current situation, what engineers call the as-is state. They basically decided, we're going to draw a map of this hidden digital jungle.
And this was not just making a list of software. No way. This was like a forensic investigation. Think of it like detectives at a crime scene, mapping every single clue, every footprint, every connection. The goal was to see every single pathway that data took, to really finally understand the beast they were up against.
And when they finally got it all mapped out, well, the picture that emerged was a mess. A real mess. This slide gives you just a little peek into that chaos. You see all these acronyms, PIMS for plant info, MES for manufacturing, LIMS for lab data, ERP for the business side, and sure, some connections went through their official middleware, TIBCO, but tons more were just direct, undocumented point-to-point links. It was a fragile digital tangle that made the whole operation brittle and almost impossible to change.
Okay, so with the problem finally in plain sight, the team could start designing the solution. And their biggest breakthrough, their big aha moment, came from pushing back against one of the biggest assumptions in tech today, this idea that the cloud fixes everything.
And this slide just lays it out so perfectly. So often, we hear the debate framed as a simple choice, right? You either move to the cloud or you stay on your local servers. But the smart answer here wasn't binary. It was a much more sophisticated hybrid. It was about using both, cloud and local.
So, here's why this hybrid model is so brilliant. Think about it like a hybrid car. You use the quiet, efficient electric motor for driving around the city, and you use the powerful gas engine for long-haul trips on the highway. It's the same idea here. The on-premise, local middleware, that's the electric motor. It runs the supercritical, time-sensitive factory stuff where you need maximum speed and zero delays. Rock-solid reliable. The cloud platform, then, is the gas engine. It gives you the power and flexibility to connect with bigger corporate systems and outside partners. You're using the best tool for the job exactly where it performs best.
So the question is, how did they actually land on this hybrid model? I mean, this wasn't just some gut feeling or a lucky guess. Nope. It was the result of an incredibly rigorous, data-driven process that was designed to leave absolutely no stone unturned.
Just look at these numbers for a second. The team started by defining 52 very specific requirements the new system had to meet. Then they brainstormed 12 different ways they could build it, narrowed that down to 5 finalists, and then scored those 5 against 10 different weighted criteria. This wasn't guesswork, this was pure science.
And this is where the decision gets really, really interesting. Here's the final verdict. The winning hybrid model, Scenario H, it scored perfect marks on the most critical stuff: performance, reliability, and giving the expert team autonomy. But, and this is the kicker, look at that last row. On the financial criteria, it had the lowest score. It was actually the more expensive option up front.
Now that little financial detail makes this final score so much more powerful. Even though it costs more to get started, Scenario H was the clear winner, with a 76.9% overall score. And this proves such a crucial point. When you're talking about critical infrastructure, strategic value, things like performance and reliability that keep your multi-million-dollar factory running, that has to outweigh a lower initial cost. They were playing the long game.
You know, through this whole process, they uncovered another powerful truth, one that goes way beyond just servers and software. It turns out, the success of a project like this depends just as much on people and how your organization is structured as it does on the technology itself.
And that's exactly what this slide is about. The winning scenario wasn't just picked for its tech specs.
It was chosen because it put the entire system under the control of the Automation Technology Team, the TA. These are the people who have that deep, specialized, hands-on knowledge of the factory floor. It was about empowering the right experts to do their job.
Okay, so they've got their map of the jungle, they have their destination picked out, and they've built the perfect hybrid vehicle to get them there. But how do you actually make the trip? Well, the final lesson here is that real transformation isn't some risky all-at-once leap. It's a marathon you have to plan for. So instead of a risky big bang approach where you try to change everything overnight and hope for the best, the team laid out this clear three-phase roadmap. Step 1, build the foundation by getting the new middleware into all the regional sites. Step 2, connect all those sites together with a central hub. And only then, Step 3, expand into the cloud. It's an approach that minimizes risk and guarantees a much smoother, more controlled transition.
And this timeline really shows you just how deliberate that plan is, right? It's stretched out over almost 2 years. It just reinforces that idea that real, lasting change is a strategic marathon, not some chaotic sprint to the finish line. This is all about building sustainable value, one careful step at a time.
So what's the big takeaway from all of this? I think it's that even the most daunting complexity can be understood, it can be mapped, and it can be transformed. This deep dive into one company's digital nervous system really gives us a powerful blueprint. And it leaves us with one last question to think about. In your own organization, what's that hidden digital tangle that's just waiting to be unraveled and turned into your next great competitive advantage?